What's this whole noise about no sex before marriage? How can anyone say that someone should not indulge in sexual activity with someone who has already proposed? I mean, I don't understand. The proponents of this whole wicked agenda of no sex before marriage must be completely out of their minds. Yes, if they are not out of their minds, how can they recommend such a wicked thing? Okay, let me ask this question. How do I get to know if my intended is good in bed? I think I know the answer. I know the answer to the wickedness that lies in the heart of these proponents of this wicked principle. They are castrated eunuchs. They are eunuchs and frigid females. Yes. If they are not eunuchs and frigid females, how can they want to impose their dryness, their dry life upon the lives of others? Oh yes, you know what? I think their libido is dead. Yes, their sex drive has gone down to zero. That is why they will say that we that are hot-blooded, should be like them. But we can't be like them. How can they think we can be like them? Not to have sex with someone that I'm completely and sexually attracted to? I mean, someone has already proposed to marry me. I have proposed to marry a lady, and someone say I should not get to know her. No, something is definitely wrong with these people. They are not of this world, because if they are of this world, they will understand that it is not easy to stay and be looking at someone that you're attracted to and not go under the sheets. The scriptures say in 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 22a, it say, flee from youthful lust and follow righteousness. And 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 22 says, abstain from all appearance of evil. Now, these scriptures, when we look at some other translations or versions of the Bible, some say flee from all appearance of evil. And the word flee is to exemplify a situation that you don't just run, but you run with careless abandon, because what you're running from is about to take your life. Yes. See, sex before marriage does not augur and do anyone good. Oh, surely sex is beautiful. Sex is awesome. Sex, is great, especially between partners who are really attracted to each other. Sex is wonderful. As a matter of fact, scientists have confirmed and proven that sex has a lot of health benefits. It helps people to sleep better. It helps in heart condition. It helps in the skin to glow much more. And several other reasons why sex is good. And surely sex is very, very good, and that's why God created it. But just like every other condition, principle, and law that God has put in place, and God says for everything there is a season. There is a season and a time when partners, men and women, are supposed to indulge in the act of sexual activity. If they do not observe that time that God has ordained, you will find them entering into loads and loads of problem. And why will this be so? Indulging in premarital sex, sex before marriage, does one very annoying thing. It prematurely binds partners together. When you indulge in sex before marriage, what it does is that it colors your eyes, or it blindfolds you not to notice character flaws that are in your partner. When you indulge in premarital sex, sex before marriage, even if your partner has proposed to you or you have proposed to your partner, engaging in premarital sex causes you to be lost, L-O-S-T, in the lust of L-U-S-T of that passion, that sexual desire, and every other thing that is wrong with the character and the persona of your partner. You begin to overlook them. And that is one of the major and salient reasons that engaging in premarital sex causes. So we need to wake up and understand that this is not good for us. There are so many people who can bear witness to this fact. I myself, I can bear witness to the fact that premarital sex colors your eyes, deceives you as a matter of fact from not noticing things that are wrong in your partner. Yes, so many people are always fond of saying, why shouldn't I engage in premarital sex? Why can't I, get to know what my partner feels like or will be like in bed before we get to marry? Hear me, child of God. Trying to get to know your partner, what they are like in bed, will not change what is going to happen in the future. Because you see, the act of sex, the act of lovemaking, is something that you don't just plan. But when you are unified with your husband, legally married partner, your wife, legally married partner, you find that you have the legal rights to begin to experiment and begin to know what they like. Because what you may have practiced while you're single and you think that is what is going to augur well for the partner you're going to marry, you will find yourself in for a shocker. Because what you think your partner would like when you eventually get to marry them will not be what they like. What you have been practicing, as a matter of fact, before marriage, you'll be shocked that that is not what your partner is going to like when you get to marry them. And like I said earlier, premarital sex, sex before marriage, never augurs well for anyone. It never helps anyone. You can do all the practice you want to indulge in or engage in when you get married. It's not a game. Because when you indulge in sex, emotions get to be intertwingled, intermingled, interwangled, if there's anything like that. When you engage in premarital sex, emotions will climb high. You will find yourself getting unnecessarily attached to this partner. You will find that when you get involved intensely in sex before marriage, it beclouds your judgment. You'll find that you can no longer take on decisions that are not unbiased. Why? Because you'll be thinking about the sex that is so sweet that you have been enjoying. But the reality of the matter is this: engaging in premarital sex is a danger sign which the devil points at us and causes us to detour or make a U-turn from the will of God for our lives. Why? Because the moment you begin to engage in premarital sex, these are some of the things you will overlook. These are some of the things you're going to overlook because premarital sex has beclouded you. As much as sex is a unifying factor between couples, it is also a destructive factor between couples. Oh yes, because it destroys your resolve, it destroys your reasoning faculty, and you will find that when you have engaged in premarital sex, you will not notice those character flaws, such as if your partner is a verbal or physical abuser, whether they are liars, whether they are pilfers, they steal. Yes, there are partners who steal from each other. When you have gone ahead to engage in premarital sex, you would not notice if the person you have gotten entangled with is a lazy person, whether they are wasters, whether they are a spiritual prostitute, which means, you find them running from pillar to post, from one religion to the other, from one spiritual house or the other, looking for solutions to their supposed problems. You find them not in one particular place of worship. You don't know whether they are fraudsters. You don't know whether they are like the uncircumcised Philistines. Yes, you don't know whether they are idol worshippers, because sex has beclouded your mind. When you engage in premarital sex, it also covers your mind, your reasoning faculty, from noticing if the person you are involved with or engaged to has uncontrollable anger, whether they are someone that talks too much. You begin to overlook such vices. When you engage in premarital sex, you find yourself not even noticing that these people may not be spiritually minded. Sex before marriage is such an endangering action that in the course of time, when the reality of these things begin to show forth, you will find that that same sex that you were enjoying with that your intended, with that your partner, would have lost its attraction when the reality of the persona of this person who is now exhibiting all these character flaws begin to come forth. You will find yourself becoming colder than ice. No more with that sex that held sway, that was making your head twist and turn, that was making you like a drunken person. No more will it have any effect on you. The joy of that sex will vanish right out of the window. Sex before marriage has never helped anybody. Take it or leave it.